Hey, what's up guys? OG Apex Adam, and you're watching my part 3 of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In this part, we're going to be tackling the first dungeon inside the Deku Tree. Now, I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to finish this whole dungeon by the end of the video. So first of all, as you walk through, you met the withered belt ones before, but these ones are actual ones. Now these actually have you get a new item called a Deku Nut. You know, these items are actually really useful, and the fact that they're ignored really makes me kind of sad. These things will stun enemies and make them not move for a while. If you'd ask me, that's very useful. Alright, let's see. Okay, now basically, get some rupees and some hearts over here. If you go in here, Davi will scream at you. Look, Link, you can see down below this web. You didn't see it, but I'm going to say that actually we can't go there right now. But we will very shortly here. Okay, basically what we gotta do we gotta go over here, you cut that grass you want. And then if you go over here, you see there's another new enemy called the Skulltula. Be careful not to touch it. We can't do anything about them right now, but we will soon. Open this treasure chest to get the dungeon map. There's a dungeon map on every single dungeon, and I will be showing in every single dungeon I'll always get the dungeon map, because this is a 100% walkthrough. There are only a few. There are only 2 dungeons, this one and the next one, that we actually have to return to after a while. So we won't be able to get this dungeon 100% complete once we're done here, because we need specific items to get a gold Skulltula, which once I get there to the gold Skulltula, I'll show you what they are. Navi will scream at you, basically saying how to open doors. You know, if you've played this game multiple times, this is the only part of the game where Navi is annoying, in my opinion. Basically, if you come here, you see another new enemy called a Deku Scrub. It's a very classical Zelda enemy. It'll hide in the grass if you get close to it. Bounce the nuts if it's you. One thing I might want to say is that I will have a lot more to say when we're in the dungeons. Because, like, they're a lot more complicated. When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward, you will the ground. When you landed, won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it will work though if the cliff is really, really high. We'll try it if you are feeling both. Okay. So now, basically this doesn't matter. You can jump on this, it'll crumble below you, but over here, open this treasure chest to get the dungeon item, the fairy slingshot. If you've played other Zelda games, this concept will be familiar to you, but if you haven't, I'll tell you. Every single dungeon will have a dungeon item, and that dungeon item will be used to solve many puzzles throughout the dungeon. This one, in this case, is the fairy slingshot. We'll be using it to solve many puzzles as we progress through this dungeon. Now you equip it just like a regular item, just like Deku Stick and Deku Nuts. I usually equip the Deku Sticks to see left, the Slingshot to see down, and the Deku Nut to see right. But if you want to use it somewhere else, you're free to do so. And I'm going to show you what another treasure chest is. You don't have to do this. It's just for a recovery heart, if I'm correct. Yup. Okay, now, and then there's another new item, Deku Seeds. It's basically ammo for the fairy slingshot. And as you can see here, there's no way out. Now what we gotta do is panic, because we're stuck here forever now. I'm just kidding. Basically, we gotta just take out your slingshot, and you see a ladder up there. You could Z-target it, but really, I mean, I recommend you aim towards it so you can practice aiming just a little bit, because you're going to need to. Okay, but now, basically, go back to the main room. Now that we have the slingshot, we're ready to progress to the top of the tree. Now that we have the slingshot, basically what we're going to do is shoot all these guys. Look at this wall. The vines growing on it give it a rough surface. Rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, Link. But one thing is, don't climb it yet. There's one more right there. That one gave me Deku Nuts, and that one gave me a green rupee. Yeah, I never really told you about the rupees, but green rupees, if you've played the Zelda games before, this will become familiar. There are a bunch of different types of rupees in this game. There's the green rupee, that's worth 1. There's the blue rupee, that's worth 5. There's the red rupee, which I don't think, yeah, you haven't seen those yet. That's worth 20. Purple rupee worth 50. You haven't seen that either. Orange rupee, which is very rare. You don't get that. That's worth 100 rupees. Okay, next there's 4 different items you need to get in each dungeon, except for the first 3, which there's only 3. But I'm just going to tell you the 4 items. Dungeon map, compass, dungeon item, and boss key. The boss key is not on the child dungeons, which is the first 3 dungeons. So if you've played other Zelda games before, you'll know that like usually it's the first 3 dungeons that are like the starter dungeons, and then all of a sudden it's like you advance towards a different part of the story. That game is like that as well, but just, you know, light that disk to press the switch and go over here, open this chest to get the compass. Dungeon. Okay. And you get a Deku stick. Now there's one new... Oh, I forgot it. That's a new enemy called the Skulltula. It's up... Basically, I'll show you to defeat it. So you can only defeat it right here. I just kind of showed you some uses for Deku Nuts. I guess I'll do it on this too. Give me a Deku stick, that's an easy way. One thing I didn't really mention, but I did it, basically, if you light that torch right there, that'll provide the exit out of here so you can get out. Press that, go back, press that button again. Go on top of here, and this time we're going to be going to the left. As you can see, there's a church. Open it for a recovery heart, I believe. Yep, and this is a new enemy, Gold Skulltula. There's 100 Gold Skulltulas throughout this entire game, and as this being a 100% guide, I will be getting all 100 of them. Now, if you don't one thing I'm going to point out, you don't have to get any of them at all. You can still beat the game without getting a single one, but it's just a little optional side quest for you. I, however, like to get them because I'm the type of guy that likes to get 100%. So now, basically, what you gotta do is this was really difficult for me the first time playing. But basically you gotta jump on top of it, and then, as you can see, we're introduced to 2 new other Gold Skulltulas. Basically, let's kill those and grab the tokens. That's the second one. As you can see on the quest status, I think? Yeah, you can see how many you have. So you get rewards for getting those, actually. You get a reward at getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 100. But one thing I'm going to warn you about, the 100 is just a huge rupee. I forgot to mention those ones. But so if you want to get 50, that's it, that's fine, but we're out of time, so I will continue going through this dungeon in the next part. Stay tuned.